This year, apparently PSA introduced a more durable slab. This slab begs to differ. Today, I got a PSA submission back of some cool and unique mid-era Japanese holos. Right in time for Charlotte Collecticon. Let's take a look. First, let's take a look at the damaged slab. So I opened the box, I pulled the cards out, and these little plastic crumbles fell off of one of the cards, and it happened to be this PSA 9 Grass and Fire deck Arceus holo. Really love these cards and the holo pattern that goes across the front. Really unfortunate that this one got a 9, so I'll probably end up resubmitting this anyway. Obviously, I'm not going to sell it with the slab being damaged, so I guess I'll chalk this up as a $15 upcharge from PSA. Thankfully, it's extremely clean, so I do think it has a chance at a 10 on a second run through. Next up, we have this Weavile card from Reviving Legends, first edition. I just thought the artwork on this was really cool. Weavile was one Pokemon kind of on the popularity list that I put together when I first started looking, and I saw this one in the Heart Gold Soul Silver era. I just thought that the artwork was super cool, and high graded versions of this card seem to do fairly decently, so when I saw this one was super clean, I decided to pick it up. It's first edition. Unfortunately, it did get the 9, but still a really great card with a really cool artwork. A Weavile collector would love this card. I know there's at least one of you out there. This particular submission was kind of like, I had all these cards sitting around. They were super clean, but they were kind of on the border. And at some point I just said, screw it. Just put them all in card savers, put them all into PSA, send them off, and hopefully they get decent grades. And we got decent grades. It's probably the lowest amount of Gem Mint 10s percentage-wise that I've ever gotten in a PSA submission, but a lot of these were on the line, so I understand where they were coming from. Next up, we have an Aggron. This is a PSA 10 from Clash from the Summit. I have one of these already, I think, in a PSA 10, at least one. So if you like Aggron, I got you covered. Next up, we have Gliscor. This is a holo from a special pack. It's a promo, looks like. Oh yeah, Black Star promo down there. This one also got the Gem Mint 10. I had a Gliscor in the past, the one from the Heart Gold Soul Silver collection. Really cool looking card. Someone actually bought that for me. Big Gliscor collectors out there looking for high-grade Gliscor cards. So hopefully that guy will come back and purchase this one from me as well. Lastly, out of this more obscure pile, we do have a Dust Noir from Japanese Stormfront. This is just a great artwork of a great ghost Pokemon. I think he's actually a really well-designed Pokemon, and this artwork of him is super cool. I love Arita, obviously one of the greatest of all time. We say it all the time in here. Arita did a really great job with this particular artwork. Not really a Pokemon that I would go out of my way to search for, but if I see like a really clean card, really clean copy, I'll pick it up. Unfortunately, this one did get the 9, so it's going to be a little bit harder to sell, but very cool card nonetheless. Now we're moving into starter Pokemon. So a bunch of starter Pokemon cards from Gen 1 to Gen 4, all of them that were featured in the mid-era. Got a couple Infernape. So this is the Plasma Gale. I really like the blue line holos from the Platinum sets. Very cool. This one unfortunately got the 9 though. I can kind of tell why. The centering is really off. I know that this card was extremely clean otherwise, so it probably just got docked on centering. The next one, we have an entry pack Infernape holo. I love the artwork on this one. Probably one of my favorite Infernape cards, and you can see it perfectly placed swirl on the right hand side there. Unfortunately, it did get the 9. I think I have a 10 of this, or maybe I've sold a 10 of this in the past. Just a beautiful card. It also has this really nice holo pattern that goes across the entire front of it. Next up, we have Blaziken. This is from Dark Rush. Now, Tokia is one of my favorite artists in Pokemon. I don't feel like they've been doing much in the recent sets. I might be wrong. Maybe they're just not focusing on like alternate arts and stuff. But man, an alternate art, Tokia artwork would be amazing. We have first edition Dark Rush Blaziken holo. Love the action pose here from Blaziken. Again, I have to say, I like the line holos. They're growing on me. I actually think they're very unique. I said it in a recent video. You know exactly which generation this card is from based on its holo pattern in Japanese. And I think that that's really unique and really interesting. I don't think there's a lot of other eras that you can just say, I know exactly what that's from just from the holo pattern. Because a lot of the holo patterns previous to this one, I feel like were very samey. It was all the Cosmos, which I love the Cosmos because there's always a chance for a swirl. But there's something just unique about this, you know? Speaking of unique holo patterns, look at this Emboar. So I think this is from some sort of deck. What does it say? The Tepig half deck. Emboar holo from Japanese Black and White. Now this is a really interesting looking holo pattern. Definitely one of the more unique. I was just blown away when I saw the holo pattern. I thought it was super cool. And Emboar, probably my second least favorite fire starter in the games. I think my least favorite fire starter in the games is probably Delphox. But Emboar is definitely up there. I'm just not a huge fan of the whole like pig thing. I don't know, pig Pokemon to me just don't stand out as like super interesting designs or anything. But yeah, really cool holo pattern. Really struck me when I saw it and I had to pick it up and give it a shot. This one got a PSA 9. The most OP water starter evolution in the games, Swampert, and we've got a couple of them. So we've got 2 holos from Moonlit Pursuit. One is first edition, the other one's also first edition, and one of them got the 9 and one of them got the 10. We've seen this card many times before. Swampert is one of the few water starters in the video games that hits really a nostalgia part of my brain. He's super OP, his typing is incredible, and he's just a complete badass. So I needed to pick up these. They looked really clean. This is a Saito artwork. Saito always does a great job. Glad we got 110. The 9 will be a little tough to sell, but really cool artwork of a great Pokemon. Next up, I'm always looking for these Kanto starters from Shining Darkness, even though they are like the ugliest artworks of these Pokemon I've ever seen. But this Venusaur card is really cool. It got the PSA 10. Venusaur, definitely my least favorite of the 3 original Kanto starter evolutions. Still a very popular Pokemon. A lot of people like Bulbasaur through Venusaur. A lot of people think that Venusaur is the superior Gen 1 starter. You're absolutely out of your mind. But this card is really cool. Shining Darkness is an interesting set. I really like picking these up when I can. Next up, we got Blastoise. So I wanted to pick another one of these up from the Blastoise starter deck from the Heart Gold Soul Silver era. And unfortunately, this one also got the 9. I don't know what it is about this card, but I have graded 2 of them so far. Both looked super clean, but both somehow keep getting 9. So hopefully someday we'll get this in a 10. Pretty interesting artwork there. Back to Shining Darkness now. We've got 3 Shining Darkness Blastoise Holos. I have a ton of these in my inventory now. I've got multiple 10s already to sell, and now I'm adding 1 9, 2 9s, and a 10 to my inventory. So very happy that these graded 9 and above. I would say out of the Kanto starters in Shining Darkness, this is probably the best looking of the 3. I think Charizard probably comes second. Venusaur definitely comes third, but this weird 3D art, not really my style, but I think that this Blastoise is a pretty decent one. Evolutions time. So the Shaman Level X deck apparently came with Holo Eevee. So I've graded one of these before, and I think it got an 8 or a 9, and this one got the 10. Really unique Pokemon that I feel like they haven't really done anything like Eevee in future games. I guess they just keep using Eevee, but I can't think of another Pokemon where you give it a bunch of different stones or a bunch of different items and it evolves into a bunch of different things. Eevee is still very unique in and of itself. And when are we going to get a new evolution Pokemon? Come on, it's been years. Next up, we've got a couple Leafeon cards. So we have the Leafeon from Dawn Dash, first edition. This got the 9. This is the better artwork of the 2 Leafeon holos from the mid-era, in my opinion. I really like this one a lot. Too bad it got the 9. It's using Razor Leaf for some sort of attack, it looks like. Very, very cool. And then the next one we got is from the Regigigas Level X collection pack. This one got the 10. So really happy that one of the 2 got the 10. Both of them are very cool artworks. This one is more on the cute side. This one's more on the action-packed side. I feel like Leafeon and Glaceon, because they came out in this middle era, people don't think about them as much as they do the original evolutions, and Umbreon and Espeon, and then even Sylveon, I feel like probably is higher up on like the popularity scale. They kind of take the back seat in the evolution popularity contest, but I think they're really cool, especially Leafeon. Can't talk about Leafeon without Glaceon. So we have some Glaceon holo cards here as well. This one's also from Dawn Dash. The Dawn Dash card got a 9. Not sure why both Dawn Dash cards got 9s. Probably a reason for it. I just have to take a look at them. And just like these set cards both getting 9s, the Level X collection deck cards all got 10s. So we have 2 Glaceon Level X collection pack holos, and they both got the PSA 10, which is really nice. It's funny, I would say that Glaceon got the opposite treatment. So in the Level X collection deck, kind of the more determined, ready to fight Glaceon, whereas in the Dawn Dash set, it's more of like a cute, playing Glaceon. Last evolution we have is from Golden Sky Silvery Ocean. We have the Vaporeon, and this one unfortunately got the 9. I mean, I'm happy that all these cards got 9s. Obviously, we've gotten a bunch of 10s. 9 plus is what I'm shooting for whenever I do these. Obviously, we want more 10s than 9s, but we did a really good job on this submission, especially one that I was just kind of throwing out to the wind and hoping for the best. The Golden Sky Silvery Ocean Vaporeon, kind of that watercolor-esque art style. I'm not too sold on it. It's not my favorite Vaporeon card. It's not bad though. Nishida has a very unique art style and I appreciate that. Just not quite sure about this one. You let me know what you think. All right, we've seen this card many a time. I love the Heart Gold Collection Arcanine. Definitely one of my favorite Arcanine cards. I love that they incorporated the stones. I feel like I say the same thing every time these cards come up. This and the Ninetales is absolutely beautiful cards. We have 4 of them in this submission. One of them got the 9, and then I think the last 3 all got 10. So really happy with how these graded. I feel like I got these for a really decent price too. I feel like I got them maybe like $10 a piece or something. It was one of those weird lots that was out there. It was listed as like a condition that was lower than I thought they looked in the picture, and then the price was lower than I thought it should be, so I picked it up, and then all of a sudden, look at this. 3 10s and 1 9. We did really well for ourselves on these Arcanines. One more Arcanine for you. We have another Bonds to the End of Time. A recent submission, I had a PSA 10 of this as well. So happy to get 2 PSA 10s. I really like this one a lot. This is a Fukuda artwork. Arcanine is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon. Obviously should have been a legendary, but here we are. One of the bigger disappointments of the submission is this Gyarados. So I love the Soul Silver Collection Gyarados Holo. This one got the 9. Still happy about it. Obviously 9 and up. It's what I'm shooting for, but this one in a 10, it's been a while since I have gotten this card and gotten it in a 10, and it would have been amazing to have another one, but a 9 I think will sell just as well because this artwork is just fantastic. It's an Arita, of course. I would have been compelled to keep this one. I don't keep a whole lot of cards, but this one has a double swirl, so you can see a bit of a swirl on the left-hand side, and then there's a bigger swirl on this right-hand side. Double swirl, Gyarados, Arita artwork, absolutely everything you'd want in a card. The most requested Pokemon at any event that I do, Lucario. We got a couple of the Bonds to the End of Time Lucario GL Holos. Both of them got a 10. I really like the perspective of this. It's another one of those, they use perspective really well in Pokemon cards to kind of show power. Don't want to mess with this guy. And I just really like this particular artwork from Jimeno. Not surprised that Jimeno did another great artwork. But yeah, we have 2 PSA 10s of this Lucario card. So one of these got destroyed, but this one made it, thankfully. This one also got the PSA 9, and this is the Lightning and Psychic deck Arceus Holo from the Level X decks. I like this holo pattern happening here. You can put them all together. It kind of makes a cool pattern. And then on top of that, you have that nice shimmer holo across the top. This card is from the 10th anniversary movie. It's from a commemoration promo binder. It comes with 10 or 12 promo cards that are mostly legendary, if not all legendaries. And this was a really cool one. I actually bought a set. I think I got the Latios and the Latias, and the Latios was damaged, but the Latias was in really good shape. So I wanted to send it to PSA. It's got that nice swirl on the top right. This one got the PSA 9. I think Saito did all of the artworks in this promo set, if I remember correctly. And yeah, just a really cool card. Really like the art, and I really like the swirl. We got a little wrecked on our Mewtwo's and our Mews. So I got 2 Moonlit Pursuit Mewtwo's. Really like this card a lot, actually. I know that it's the kind of crappy 3D artwork that I've crapped on for Shining Darkness and other sets, and it's really dark, so even if there is a swirl, it's really hard to see because the background is so dark on it. Yeah, just really cool of Mewtwo. One of my favorite Pokemon, definitely my favorite legendary. And next we got the Mew. So I think this Mew is just beautiful. This is a Shining Darkness holo that I actually think is gorgeous. It's one of the non-3D artworks. This is Jimeno, and it's just so cute. It's so cute. It's just I just love it. It's such a great card. We got 2 of these, but they both got 9s. I feel like I have a PSA 10 version of this, or maybe I sold one. One of the better Mew cards from this mid-era, and just gorgeous. Last but not least, we got 3 legendary Pokemon and 3 massive cards from this submission. So this is the 11th movie commemoration set holo. I've never graded anything from this set, but this Giratina struck me. It's got that nice like EX holo border thing happening. And as a promo goes, this is one of the better artworks of Giratina, in my opinion. So I had to grab this when it looked really clean. When I got it in, it was super clean, and obviously it was clean enough to get the PSA 10. Second to last card we have swooping in is Lugia from the 10th movie commemoration promo. This comes from the same set as that Latias did. So 10th movie commemoration promo. They all come together. Like I said, it's like 12 or 16 holos or something like that of different legendary Pokemon. So I was totally wrong. This is a Fukuda artwork. I thought that Saito had done the whole set, but obviously I'm wrong. This Lugia is really cool though. I really like the artwork. Once again, you have the lightning in the back and the seas. It's almost he's almost parting the seas with his power. It's insane. I was surprised that this one got the 10, to be honest, because the centering is pretty bad. Like the bottom is pretty damn thick compared to the top. But if everything else is clean, I guess, you know, sometimes you get them. Now, I call this Lugia the Dick Swirl Lugia, because if you look, this Lugia, the swirl placement kind of looks like Lugia's got a curly dick coming off of him. So yeah, that's my child brain. How far are we into this video? Okay, we're toward the end. Most people aren't watching anymore. So yes, we have the Dick Lugia. That's what I'm calling it. Last but not least, we have the Beat of the Frontier. Rayquaza C Holo. This is the second time that I've got this in a PSA 10. One of my favorite Rayquaza artworks. You got Cynthia there as well. And it's not unlimited. It's first edition. I'm not sure the pop difference in this particular set. Rayquaza is one of my favorite legendaries. I think my second favorite legendary. We did that live stream where we faced all the legendaries off against each other. I think Rayquaza was either second or third. Great return. I wish more of the 9s had gotten 10s, but I can't really complain. A lot of great cards that I will be bringing to Collecticon Charlotte. This video will probably come out after the event, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. But I hope that I meet a lot of you guys there. It should be a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll have stories to talk about after we get back.